A video of Ethan Harris shopping with his mistress went viral online, and by the time it reached me, it had millions of views. Sophia, it was just a mistake. Don't misunderstand. Misunderstand. I wished it were a misunderstanding, but she crossed the line when she targeted our son, using him to threaten me. We're getting divorced. Ethan. Later, I left Ethan with our son, while he moved his mistress into our home. Everyone thought it was my karma, until I built a thriving life with our son, and Ethan's world crumbled into bankruptcy. In jail, Ethan's eyes filled with tears. Sophia, I regret it. Can you forgive me? Before we continue, subscribe to this channel and tell us where you're listening from in the comments. Breaking, Harris Enterprises GM suspected of cheating. Breaking, mistress alleged to be GM's secretary. Ethan Harris spares no expense to impress his lover. I stared at the top trending video, a sharp pain twisting in my chest. The well-dressed, handsome man in the footage was my husband. The woman smiling beside him, Luna Bennett, had always been his secretary. I'd objected to having such a young, attractive secretary by his side, bringing it up gently once, but Ethan had brushed me off impatiently. She's highly educated and capable. I pay her to help me. Are you going to quit everything to be my secretary? He knew I never would. With only a community college degree, I'd never be good enough to stand beside him professionally, not in his eyes. Anyway, I just never thought my willingness to step back would lead to this. Ethan's refusal to address the scandal said it all. He was cheating, and he didn't care if I knew. Mommy, I need to go to piano lessons. My son Leo's voice pulled me out of my thoughts. He was Ethan's leverage, our son, the one thing tying us together. Okay, Mr. Jenkins, can you drop Leo off? Yes, Mrs. Harris. Leo waved at me, taking Mr. Jenkins' hand as they left. Ethan was the man I'd loved for 10 years. The only man I'd ever truly cared about. But 10 years, it turned out, could change everything. Mrs. Harris, will you be preparing dinner tonight? Our housekeeper knocked gently. No, I'm going out. She nodded and left, leaving me alone with my thoughts. I pulled out my phone and called Chicago's top divorce lawyer, recommended by other wives in my social circle. Ethan and I had grown up together, childhood sweethearts who married right after college. I'd thought it was the start of a happy life, but I'd been wrong. Before our wedding, Ethan had sworn, Ethan Harris, will love Sophia Carter forever. If I ever cheat, may I suffer a terrible fate. Turns out, men only mean their promises when they're in love. 10 years later, he'd forgotten every word. Promises were the flimsiest form of security. Mrs. Harris, are you certain you want a divorce? The lawyer, a man with wire-rimmed glasses, leaned forward. Yes, Ethan cheated. What am I entitled to under the law? He thought for a moment. Since the scandal is public knowledge, you should be able to get the majority of the marital assets. You're the victim here. Good. Draw up the papers. When I got home, I struggled with how to tell Leo. Mommy, I want braised pork ribs for dinner. Leo loved my braised pork, but Ethan always complained it was too greasy. I'd begged him once, and he'd finally agreed to let Leo have it once a week. Okay, this was his weekly treat. I pushed my emotions aside and headed downstairs to cook. Our housekeeper looked like she had something to say, but she fell silent when she saw Leo. Mommy, look, I made this dolphin at class for you. Ethan had always wanted to raise Leo as his heir, pushing him to be the best at everything. But what was the point of fighting for success your whole life? As a mother, I only wanted him to be happy. Thank you, baby. Mommy, when will daddy be home? Leo was always clingy to Ethan. I looked at his innocent face, my heart aching. He was so young, would losing his father's love hurt him? As I thought, Ethan walked in. Daddy. Leo's shout made me turn. Hey, buddy, did you miss me today? Yes. It was a picture-perfect father-son moment. But Ethan, how could he do this? He had a wife, a son, a family. Why throw it all away? Mommy, let's eat. In front of Leo, I forced a smile and finished dinner, ignoring the discomfort in my chest. Back in our bedroom, Ethan sat on the couch reading, not sparing me a single glance, just like always. Ethan, don't you have anything to say to me? I asked, hoping he'd at least pretend to care. He looked up, his dark eyes cold and empty. What do you want me to say? You're really going to divorce me? Arrogant. As always. Sophia, you need to understand, without me, you're nothing. I'll handle this scandal. Just pretend you don't know. His words crushed my last hope. How could a wife turn a blind eye to her husband's infidelity? I've had enough of being your trophy wife. Ethan, we're getting divorced. Ethan looked shocked, then sneered. What will you do without me? I already have the divorce papers drawn up. I ignored his anger, handing him the documents from my lawyer. here. Sophia, you're serious. He had every right to be surprised. I'd never stood up to him before, but he had no idea I was already planning to kick him out with nothing. That night, Ethan didn't come home. He took the divorce papers and left to find Luna. Meanwhile, I gathered evidence, receipts of Ethan's lavish spending on Luna, records of our joint assets. If we were ending this, it would be. Mommy, did you and Daddy fight? Leo asked the next morning, setting breakfast on the table with a sad look. Ethan, even your son notices. No, Daddy's just really busy. I changed the subject, comforting him. Thankfully, Leo didn't press further. After breakfast, Mr. Jenkins took him to school, and I headed to my cafe. I'd opened it because I loved coffee, and Ethan had always dismissed it as a hobby. When I arrived, a crowd had gathered outside. In the middle stood the last person I wanted to see, Luna, with her big waves and red lips. Sophia, we need to talk. She dropped the Mrs. Harris act. Ethan had clearly given her confidence. I told the barista to make my usual coffee and sat at a table in the center, quietly turning on my phone's voice recorder. My goal is simple, Luna said. Divorce Ethan. I almost laughed. She was really this bold. You're not fit to step foot in the Harris family. My words made her sneer. She deliberately revealed hickeys on her neck. Who are you to decide that? Face it. Leaving now saves you the embarrassment when Ethan dumps you first. I stirred my coffee, the spoon clinking loudly in the quiet cafe. Luna smiled, as if she'd expected this. You mean your son? What if something happened to? Slap. I cut her off with a. The baristas scattered to the back, not wanting to witness the drama. Luna, if you touch my son, I'll make you regret it for the rest of your life. Leo was my everything. I'd die before letting anyone hurt him. You have no idea what a mother will do to protect her child. Luna looked terrified. I'd always been timid around her, letting her walk all over me. She thought I was just a parasite clinging to Ethan. You hit me. Her shrill voice grated on my nerves. Get out. I raised my hand to hit her again, and she fled, shouting over her shoulder, you'll pay for this. Sophia, pay for it. What? By having Ethan yell at me again. She only had power because he let her. That night, I returned home exhausted. Mrs. Harris, it's a disaster. Young Master Leo is missing. Mr. Jenkins rushed over, tripping over his feet. My breath caught. I grabbed his collar, ignoring his fall. What happened? Tell me. Mr. Jenkins stammered through the story. I dropped him off at school like usual, but his teacher said he never showed up. I swear, I watched him walk in. Call the police. Now, I knew it was Luna. She'd actually done it. She'd hurt my son. I took my bodyguards to the villa Ethan had bought for Luna. Before we even opened the door, we heard moans from inside. Luna. I kicked the door open, furious. Ethan looked shocked. What are you doing here? He thought I didn't know about this place, but I tracked every penny he spent. Sophia, have you lost your mind? Luna pulled the covers over herself. Embarrassed. I'm crazy. You kidnapped my son. Where is he? Luna. I grabbed the covers, yanking them off. Ethan's face darkened when he heard about Leo. Luna, what did you do to him? Scared of Ethan's anger, Luna glared at me and spat out an address. I ran for the door, but Ethan grabbed my arm. You're too upset. Let me drive. Him, cold as ice. Do you really want to see our son half naked? Ethan's face turned red. He quickly pulled on his clothes and followed me. The entire drive, I trembled with fear. Ethan tried to comfort me. Don't worry, Luna wouldn't dare hurt him. If I hadn't been holding on to my last shred of sanity, I would have killed him right then. We arrived at a remote area outside Chicago as night fell. Leo, where are you? I shouted, searching the hillside. Leo Harris. Ethan called, panic finally setting in. Luna had said she'd left him on the mountain, nothing more. Mommy, a weak voice came from below. I looked down and saw Leo, his leg bleeding heavily. The blood glistened in the moonlight. Leo. I knelt down, picking him up gently. He'd been so energetic that morning, now he felt like a feather. Ethan searched for a path down, calling the hospital. Baby, don't be scared. Mommy's here. Mommy, I'm cold. I took off my coat, wrapping it around him to keep him warm. Daddy, hold on. Buddy, help is coming. Ethan drove like a maniac, racing to the hospital. When we arrived, I watched as Leo was wheeled into surgery. I turned and slapped Ethan hard. This is all your fault. If anything happens to our son, I'll never forgive you. Ethan stared at me, shocked. I never embarrassed him in public before. Sophia, calm down. He tried to hold me, but I pushed him away. Leo is my bottom line. Ethan, you knew that. I sat in the waiting room, staring at the surgery doors. Ethan stayed too, knowing there was nothing he could say to fix this. 3 hours later, the lights turned green. The doctor walked out, sighing. How is he? I rushed over. He has a broken leg and cuts from rocks. Nothing life-threatening. He'll need 3 months of rest. I let out a breath of relief. Just then, Ethan's phone rang. Ethan, I think I have a fever. Can you you come take care of me? Luna's voice echoed in the quiet hospital, even though he hadn't turned on speakerphone. Sure, I'll be right there. He hung up, glancing at me. Now that Leo's okay, I'll head out. Ethan, I snapped. He's your son. He'll be heartbroken if you're not there when he wakes up. I thought he'd stay for Leo's sake, but he said, you're his mother, you'll be there. With that, he left. From that moment on, Leo wouldn't need a father. I stayed by Leo's side all night. When the first rays of sunlight hit the bed, he finally woke up. His throat was dry from dehydration. Mommy, where's Daddy? Of course. He asked for Ethan first, but his father was with another woman. Daddy has work to do. Baby, Mommy will never leave you. I tried to brush it off, but Leo said, Mommy, does Daddy like someone else? I was shocked. Who had told him? Don't be mad, Mommy. I figured it out on my own. Leo was always so thoughtful, comforting me even now. Mommy, let's go see Grandpa. I want to go home. His words confirmed my decision to divorce Ethan. After Leo got his cast, we went back to the house. The housekeeper hesitated, and I knew Ethan hadn't returned. Mrs. Harris, tomorrow is Grandma's 80th birthday party. I'd forgotten. I'd hoped Ethan would come home for it, but I was wrong. Instead, he brought Luna to the party, publicly humiliating me. Sophia, Luna just wanted to wish Grandma well. Don't overthink it. Ethan tried to smooth things over. The room fell awkward, with guests staring at us. Everyone knew about the scandal. Many had come just to watch the drama. Overthink. Your mistress is at my grandmother-in-law's birthday party, and you want me to overthink it. Sophia. Ethan was cut off by Grandma Harris. Sophia, why are you causing a scene? At 80, she was still as sharp-tongued as ever. She'd never approved of me marrying Ethan, treating me coldly all these years. Even now, with Ethan parading his mistress around, she blamed me. Hello, Grandma. I'm Luna. Unlike me, Luna walked up confidently. Dear, so nice of you to come. Grandma smiled. Unlike some people who only bring shame. I heard you've been unwell. Are you okay? Her eyes flicked to me as she spoke. I'm fine now, Grandma. Thanks to Ethan's care, I couldn't miss your birthday. That's good. I'm glad Ethan's taking care of you. The guests looked at me with disdain. Everyone knew I was too good for Ethan, and now I was clinging to him like a loser. Grandma, I said, if you like Ms. Bennett so much, why not have Ethan marry her? No need to pretend. We all know what's going on. Grandma looked shocked. It was humiliating for a wife to call out her husband's infidelity in front of everyone, but the Harris family had no shame. So why should I? I glanced at the paparazzi hiding in the crowd and continued. Happy birthday, Grandma. As your daughter-in-law, I wish you health, but as Ethan's wife, I demand he sign the divorce papers immediately. Divorce. Grandma stood up, furious. Yes, once we're divorced, you can have the granddaughter-in-law you've always wanted. Ethan grabbed my arm, whispering angrily, Sophia, it's Grandma's birthday. Stop acting out. Acting out. I laughed bitterly. Ethan, I've had enough of you. You're a coward who abandoned your son for a mistress. I shouted, making sure the paparazzi heard. When Grandma heard about Leo, her face changed. What happened to Leo? I threw Leo's medical report and the recording of Luna's threats on the table. Grandma hated me, but she doted on Leo. He was the Harris heir. Grandma, it's all a misunderstanding. Ethan tried to stop her, but it was too late. Grandma read the report and exploded. Ethan, how could you let her hurt my great-grandson? She lunged at Luna, scratching and yelling. The loving grandmother act was gone. Chaos erupted, and the paparazzi captured every moment. This was exactly what I wanted. I wanted Ethan to lose everything. The next day, headlines screamed, Harris mistress crashes Grandma's 80th birthday party. Ethan finally signed the divorce papers. Are you happy now, Sophia? Luna stormed into my cafe the next morning, covered head to toe to avoid the media, only her triumphant eyes visible. Am I? I raised an eyebrow. I have good news. I'm pregnant. She'd come to gloat. Congratulations. My calmness annoyed her. She thought I was faking it. I heard Ethan gave you most of the assets. Let me warn you, most of them are losing money. Before marrying Ethan, the Carters had run a successful business in New York. My brother Marcus had taken over. I gave him Ethan's failing factories, and he repurposed them for his ceramic business, cutting costs drastically. Luna, if Ethan cheated on me, he'll cheat on you. Mark my words. Cheating was a habit. Once it started, it never stopped. She'd regret it someday. Luna laughed it off. You're just jealous. Sophia, you're nothing without Ethan. I ignored her. When I got my divorce papers, the news broke. Harris Enterprises CEO marries mistress. I watched the wedding replay on the airport screen, holding Leo's hand. I was grateful he'd told the judge, "Please let me live with mommy. She needs me more than daddy does. And I don't want her to be sad anymore." Ethan hadn't argued, he knew he'd failed as a father. The day we returned to New York, the sun was shining. "Mommy, I want sweet and sour pork for dinner." 3 months had passed, and life was getting better. Leo was enrolled in a great elementary school, and I was learning to run the family business. "Okay, baby, I'll make it." Without Ethan's drama, I felt free. He'd called a few times at first, begging to see Leo, but I'd refused. It was too late for him to play father. Eventually, the calls stopped. I knew Luna had put a stop to it. She was pregnant, and Ethan's attention was on her. "Mommy, Uncle Marcus said he'll take me to the water park tomorrow." Leo excitedly packed his bag after his bath. "Have fun, but stay close to him. Don't get lost." "I will." I was proud of how brave and kind he was. After my failed marriage, I decided to focus on my son and my career, not useless relationships. Ethan had been right about one thing: I'd never run a business before. As an art student who loved painting, I was out of my depth, but Marcus had put me through boot camp, teaching me everything about finances and operations in 3 months. I was afraid my busy schedule would neglect Leo, so Marcus often helped take care of him. "Ms. Carter, your finance teacher canceled. Should I book another one?" my assistant asked. I'd hired a tutor to learn more. "Is there anyone available last minute?" She scrolled through her tablet. "There's a part-time college student. His classes aren't popular, but he's available." "Why not?" I said. "Hi, I'm Mr. Cole, your substitute teacher." A young man in a white hoodie stood at the door, carrying a backpack. "Hello, Mr. Cole. Let's start." Time flew by. When my assistant knocked, it was already night. "I'm so sorry. I lost track of time." I felt bad for keeping him late. "It's okay. I had no other plans." Mr. Cole scratched his head awkwardly. "Let me buy you dinner to make up for it." He agreed, and we went to a new restaurant nearby. I never expected to see Ethan there, with a young girl I'd never seen before. "Sophia, what are you doing here?" He'd forgotten New York was my home. I ignored him, pulling Mr. Cole toward the door, but Ethan grabbed my arm. "Let go." I frowned. "Sophia, please don't tell Luna I'm here." He was hiding from her. He thought I'd stir up trouble, just like Luna had done to us. But I wanted nothing to do with him. "Ethan, I told you, you'll never change." I pulled my arm free and left with Mr. Cole. "Sorry, looks like dinner's off." I'd lost my appetite. Mr. Cole was understanding. "No problem, rain check." I drove him back to his college as an apology, looking forward to our next class. "Ms. Carter." He waved and ran inside. When I got home, Marcus had already put Leo to bed. "Hey, sis." "Marcus, thanks for watching Leo. I have a favor to ask. We have a delivery to Chicago next week. Can you oversee it?" I tried to refuse, but he cut me off. "Sophia, it's time to move forward." I agreed. 3 months later, I was back in Chicago, no longer the broken woman who'd fled. I stopped by my old cafe first. I'd sold it after leaving. Just as I sat down, Luna walked in, pregnant and furious. She slapped me hard. "You bitch. You're still Ethan even after the divorce." I wiped my mouth. "You're insane." I tore into her, yelling until her face turned purple. "You two are perfect for each other. Trash with trash. Fool me once. Shame on you. Fool me twice. Shame on me. Can't control your man. Don't take it out on me. I'm not your mother." You. Luna sat down, clutching her stomach, still glaring at me. "Luna." Ethan arrived just as she looked like she was having contractions. "Sophia, she's pregnant. What's wrong with you?" "What's wrong with me? Your mistress attacked me." "Ethan, I told you never to show your face to me again. Did you forget?" I couldn't stand the sight of them. "Sophia, please. Don't tell Luna about this." He was terrified of her. I pulled my arm away and left, dragging a confused Mr. Cole with me. The client who'd ordered our goods was Nathan Ford, Ethan's archenemy. After signing for the delivery, he smiled. "Ms. Carter, would you honor me with your presence at a party?" I hesitated. His intentions were obvious, but he said, "Don't you want to watch Ethan destroy himself?" I agreed. I was curious. Halfway through the party, the big screen suddenly showed photos of Ethan with different women, intimate, explicit, in various locations. "What the hell?" Ethan shouted, staring at Nathan. He'd thought he'd deleted all the photos. "Mr. Harris, statutory rape is a felony, isn't it?" Nathan smiled. I was horrified. Ethan had gone beyond cheating. He'd preyed on underage girls. The young girl I'd seen with him earlier had been a child. The police arrived. Harris Enterprises stock crashed, and the company declared bankruptcy. Grandma Harris couldn't handle the shock and died of a heart attack that night. Luna fled with the last of Ethan's money. When I saw Ethan again, he was a broken man. "Sophia, if I'd never cheated, would you have stayed with me?" "No." I said it without hesitation. "Sophia, I regret it. Please forgive me, for old time's sake. It was too late. He'd chosen his path when he cheated. With the Harris family in ruins, I bought all their remaining shares at a low price. Before leaving Chicago, Nathan said, Ethan will be in jail for life. It's what he deserves. I knew I'd never return to Chicago. Years later, when Leo was in middle school, I traveled to the South for a delivery. I never expected to see Luna there. She'd married a disabled man, and rumors said he beat her because he knew the child wasn't his. Sophia, she covered her bruises when she saw me. I took off my coat and gave it to her. It's cold. Take care of yourself. I got in my car and left. She'd made her choices. This was her karma, but the child was innocent, and I felt sorry for them. Leo had grown up without a father, but he had me, and that was enough. Thank you for reading today's story. If you enjoyed it, please like and share with your friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more exciting stories. See you next time.